Okay, thank you, Andrew. Happy to be back to you, Marine Money again. And Mehmet, I know
Hello.
this is your first time speaking at Marine Money Shanghai, yeah?
Yes, it's been many years. Now is the time.
Yeah, okay. And take it easy. We Chinese people are very nice. I have prepared some simple and nice questions for you.
I'm sure.
And yeah, but welcome back to Shanghai for sure,
Thank
first of all. Very quickly about myself. So my name is Berlin. I work for HIT Marine, and it's a shipbroker firm established by my father about 25 years ago. We specialize in shipbuilding, sale and purchase, and ship finance. Over the past few years, we had the pleasure of working with Advantage Tankers on a number of sale-leaseback transactions with multiple leasing houses in China. Today, I want to divide my interview with Mehmet into three parts. First of all, we want to hear Mehmet introducing about Advantage Tankers. And second of all, we want to discuss about terms which are important, like key considerations when Advantage Tankers finance with the Chinese leasing houses. Last but not least, to echo the topic of today, to navigate the risk and rewards, and we want to discuss a bit about how to balance the risk and reward when finance with Chinese leasing, and also talk a bit about the pros and cons of Chinese leasing comparing with other main sources of financing. So first of all, Mehmet, could you please give an overview of Advantage Tankers?
Sure. First of all, I'm happy to be here in Shanghai among our nice friends, which we have been cooperating for many years now. And I also like to thank Kevin and Andrew for making this happen, for the kind invitation. Advantage Tankers, we have been established back in 2014 with the pure focus on crude carriage. We are based in Istanbul, Turkey, with our headquarters. We have a chartering office in London and a liaison office in Switzerland. We have a current fleet of 26 ships on water, consisting of LR1s, LR2s, Suezmax, Aframax, and up to LCCs. On top of it, we have 10 new building orders from Chinese and Korean shipyards, which will be delivered during the next 2 years. On financing side, we are almost 95% covered by our Chinese lessors. We have a committed financing of about $1.2 billion as of today, and together with the inclusion of the new buildings in the coming years, it will reach close to $2 billion in the coming years. On the chartering side, we prefer working with long-term time charters under long-term time charters. We are having technical management and commercial management in-house, top to bottom. So basically, that's who we are.
Thank you. So it's interesting to note you have 100% of your ship, like the fleet, all on mid to long-term TC. So basically either to Shell, Trafigura, or Mercuria. Is there any special reason or logic behind this type of employment? And do you find it like a rewarding employment strategy?
That's our business strategy from the day one. First, of course, we were focusing on steady cash flow. That was the key at the beginning. But it turned out to be an advantage for us, and we have become our charter's first choice when they are in need of long-term employment. So we are kind of backward engineering our investments, and we are trying to meet their requirements, so they can approach us what their requirements are, and then we go find the ship and find the financing. And coming back to the question about awarding, yes, when we first started 10 years ago, it was like 9 ships, 1 million deadweight, and now we are talking about 36 ships with 6 million deadweight. I think we got our reward back.
Okay, and also we noticed you started with Chinese leasing with Mingsheng back in 2020, 17 ships, and now you have doubled the size of your fleet. Now it's 36 vessels. And yeah, I'm sure Chinese leasing has supported your growth substantially over the past 5 years. So now we want to move on to the second part, like discussing a bit about the key considerations for you, when deciding to work on Chinese leasing, which are the factors you wanna look at. So before we do that, I wish to give another very quick overview like I did last year on this development of Chinese leasing market. So according to our count now, so there are about 34 leasing houses which can offer US dollar ship finance in China, among which 23 already have a portfolio with foreign ship owners, and 26 are actively pursuing to work with foreign ship owners, meaning the remaining 8 or 9, they want to focus on domestic owners for now. So in general, the percentage is similar as last year, but we have seen a very steady little increase, in terms of players. If you compare with pre-COVID, or we take 2021 as a benchmark year, or 2020 can be similar, the number of lessors in China has increased, has doubled from 15 now to 34. And in terms of margin, I think over the past 12 months, for certain reasons, as we all realized, I think the margin has continuously to come off a bit in China. So the Chinese leasing has become even more competitive. Now, I would say we would have close to 20 lessors, which could easily offer something below 250 on the margin. So for those who want to offer something above 300, you probably only have like 2. So this is, for now, the current situation in terms of number of players. So then my question for you is, Mehmet, so what are the key factors you would take into considerations when you do finance, and what are the key elements or terms you pay attention to?
Well, of course, the key factors are depending on the certain environmental issues. Where at the very beginning, we were focusing on the LTV clauses when we first set up the company and when we first entered into the Chinese market. And then afterwards, margin has become the priority. Things are changed. And then when you are considering a second-hand vessel purchase, speed and approval certainly becomes an issue. And nowadays, the structure seems to be the most important issue because of the USTR issues. Now, when we talk about new chartering business for long-term with our charters, they are hesitant about the outcome of the USTR, and they are introducing new clauses. They are trying to introduce clauses that non-Chinese, non-US ownership clauses, which of course has a problem to be addressed by the Chinese leasing community.
Okay, since you mentioned about USTR, what is your view of USTR and how does that impact your business going on at the moment?
Well, I mean, as Kevin nicely put in the morning, China is too big to be beaten in that respect. So there's a huge value that China brings to the shipping world, and we all knew that USTR would not be sustainable. We all knew that it's going to be short-lived. In fact, it's short-lived even fewer than we were anticipated, but it is still there. It is still there. It is, since our business model, we are depending on time charters. The time charters would like to get rid of it. They don't want to take that risk. So we need to find a solution to that. And now that the postponement give a certain relief for a year, but in fact, it is still there. The threat is still there. And I hope the Chinese regulators would not wait until the last moment to introduce some flexibility, but rather to start working on the best case scenario from today so that our Chinese lessor friends would grow their business even further.
Yeah, I think for a lot of, as we discussed, a lot of financiers like your business model, long-term TC, which provides steady cash flow. But in the meantime, now the subcharters are creating some problems. They don't want to be exposed to this potential comeback of USTR, which although we all know is very unlikely to come back. But for owners trading on spot, maybe they don't care about USTR. They can always choose to refinance or they choose not to go to the States. But for a lot of charters providing 5 to 7 years long-term TC, they don't want to limit their optionalities.
Exactly.
Right? They want to have the global trading. So yeah, as Mehmet said, I think Advantage is calling for some actions. I think for the lessors, we need to still come up with some tentative or potential solutions, to address the concerns from the charters, from this long-term charter business model, which we all like. Okay, and then we move to the last part of the discussion to further examine or analyze the risk and reward of Chinese leasing. This is obviously, I think, Advantage is carefully evaluating when doing sale-leaseback transactions. First of all, Mehmet, could you please share your opinion, just talking about the pros and cons of Chinese leasing when comparing with other main sources of financing?
Sure. I mean, where the financial world stands today, I mean, the volume-wise, Chinese lessors provides the biggest volume. And I don't think that any other area could meet that volume. And Chinese lessors are becoming more flexible, and they don't vessel-specific focus. Whereas when we compare to Japanese or European-based lenders, there are some restrictions. For example, yes, there is availability in the European banks, but these are available for on early purchase options or vessel types. So I think Chinese is standing alone as a unique powerhouse here.
Right, but did you also find some what about the cons? Like the pros, obvious, it's quite obvious, right, as you discussed?
Yeah, cons, I mean, the language and cultural differences still an issue. But this can be overcome by regular visits to China. I'm a firm believer of face-to-face meetings, so I would suggest to any owner to come here and spend some time, be patient, because you will not get the best deal in your first deal in China. You have to build up your reputation, and you have to work on it, and over time it will get easier.
Okay. All right, thank you, Mehmet. I'm sure like a lot of financiers sitting here today would be very eager to continue to support your future fleet growth. In the meantime, I would also like to acknowledge clients like Advantage who continue to support Chinese leasing even during challenging time, like including this USTR 301 headwinds we just experienced. Hopefully together, we could all achieve this sustainable and healthy growth for the entire industry. All right, that's it. Thank you, Mehmet.
Thank you, Berlin.
Thank you all.
Everyone, you're listening.